go make some matcha. I can't believe this is my new space. I think I'm still in a little bit of a shock. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm still trying to process everything. I'm still packing. I'm still trying to get my life together. I'm not allowed to have coffee anymore. I did get back on my coffee grind. My girl cut my bangs so short, and this is really, I get overstimulated easily, so I'm like, this is the main event. This is the moment we've been waiting for. My Latina Diaries is dedicated to the woman who is trying to navigate life for the first time. In life, I experienced two types of people: the people that work to be where they are and the people who felt entitled to be where they were. I think navigating life in my mid-20s now was so different than being 18, 19 years old, trying to navigate the world. Like, I genuinely, because I'm an empath and I see the good in everybody, I was always like, no, they could never, or no, like, the world is such a beautiful place. Although it was an optimistic way of viewing things, I feel like as I grew older and I saw what the world really was, I think we all kind of just grow a little more guarded, and we're trying to navigate through the feelings of protecting ourselves, being in survivor mode, not being taken advantage of, especially in the influencer world, right? A lot of these brands will just use your name to say, oh, we support Latinos, we support Latinas, let me just stamp this face on our brand. But you have to remember, are you being compensated well? Are you being treated the same as your counter peers? Realistically, most of the time, Latinos, people of color, a lot of us are not getting paid the same as our counter peers. And I know this from experience, and I know this because I've seen the numbers. It's absolutely insane. Nothing in this life is given to you. The victim mentality thing, you have to start shifting now. If you continue living in a victim mentality state, it's gonna be so difficult for you to grow. Right now, I'm trying to find the balance between giving myself and extending myself grace and understanding the value of hard work and really locking in. You are your biggest advocate. No one is gonna advocate for you the way that you advocate for yourself. In the fitness industry, I rarely saw a curvy woman. I rarely saw women that had my body type, okay? Obviously, now I know that I'm having a lot of health issues and I'm healing my body now, and that is what I'm focused on this year for myself. And it goes to show you that it's not that I'm not working hard enough, it's just genuinely that my body is too busy fighting off other things and trying to protect itself, that it can't even properly absorb nutrients right now. It can't do what I need it to do. And there's this big pressure to look a certain way, to act a certain way, to water yourself down. A lot of the times in my videos, you get a lot of comments talking about bodies and hyperfixation on the body of like not being skinny enough. And I think that something that we see often in Latino culture is that kids are given nicknames based on their body features. If you're skinny, flaca. If you're a little chubbier, gorda. So much hyperfixation as a child growing up about how you look. My weight fluctuated. I was a little bit bigger when I was a child, and then I ended up going through puberty, and then I was super skinny, and then I went back to being a little curvier when I was a young adult. And of course, there's always comments about when you're losing weight, when you're gaining weight, and it honestly feels so frustrating because there's this ginormous pressure to be perfect. And honestly, I think that's why we have such a big problem with plastic surgery in Latino culture. I mean, you can literally drive 2 hours into TJ and get a BBL. If you want to change your entire face, you can. And we see this with using fajas since early on, or being told to use fajas after childbirth. There's this hyperfixation of having the perfect ratio of waist to hips, of having the perfect face. if your lips are big enough, if your arms are skinny enough, liposuction, there's this gigantic pressure with Latina women. And it's crazy that there's this hyperfixation, but at the end of the day, it's never going to be enough. If you're too skinny, you need more hips to bear children. If you're too curvy, don't get too curvy because you're going to get too obese. Never, ¿cómo decirte? It's never going to be enough. So if you're not okay with yourself, you're constantly going to be trying to make everyone else happy, and you're never going to make yourself happy. Keep that in mind. Opportunities. The opportunities are there. So I don't believe in victim mentality, because if I were to sit here today and be like, there were no opportunities for me, there were no doors open, they were there, you just have to find them. I truly believe there's a solution to everything. And when you don't find a solution, you have to keep going. A lot of people give up before they find their blessing. I had every single obstacle put in my way to make my life 10 times more difficult. I did not come from money. I did not have, the best education. I did not, honestly, anything you can think of, I was not given that opportunity. But I took it and I said, I don't care what I have to do, I'm going to get after it. I'm going to become this, I'm going to live here, and this is it. At the age of 17, I knew I wanted to be a lawyer. I automatically said, this is what I want for my life, this is what I want to do. I had done a debate class. I ended up doing a pre-law program at Stanford University. It was so life-changing, but that is when I started to see the difference. I was not like other kids. I did not have the same background as a lot of these kids that were in the program. That exposure, though, led me to realize my potential. When you are exposed to new experiences, a new environment, and you sit there and you tell yourself, I don't belong here, you have now created a limitation within yourself, a limiting belief. So how do you tap into the highest version of yourself? How do you tap into the person you're supposed to become if you're constantly living in this limiting belief? When I got there, I did not look like anybody. I was not wearing no designer. These kids were very well off, to say the least. And I told myself, I belong here. So I'm gonna walk the walk, talk the talk until I become it. And I told myself I wanted to live in California. I was told I was so crazy for wanting to ever do something like that. From my high school counselors to everyone you can imagine within my town, they literally told me, you are crazy, that's a terrible mistake. Fast forward, I'm living in California. I wanted a house in this area, and I ended up doing it at the age of 24 years old. Yes, it took a couple years. Things take time, especially beautiful things. We try to want to rush things and say, I want it now, I deserve it now, but it is not your time yet. A lot of us have a hard time sitting in gratitude, being able to sit with the blessing that God has already given you. Before I got a house, I lived in a 4-bedroom apartment, okay? I had 3 roommates, different regions of the world, international students. Let's just say there was a lot of clashing. We had 1 bathroom, 1 kitchen. So if you had to use the bathroom and somebody was taking a bath, you would use that pee bottle. And I did that for an entire year, or actually 2 years. Fast forward, I lived in a room when I came out to California. Then I lived in a studio. Then I lived in a 1-bedroom. And then I made my way to my 3-bedroom house that I still can't believe it. I'm gonna be able to host and be able to have family here. More than a blessing. However, it started with the small things first. How many times do we sit there and tell God, I am deserving of this and I need it now? And you're not happy with where you're at. When I lived in that little 400 square footage room, guys, I treated that room as if it was a house. I was like, I'm going to interior design this. I'm going to make room. You know, I created my own little meditation corner. I had, you know, my little bed set up, my desk set up, my closet. I mean, you know, I didn't have that much, but with what I had, I made it cozy and I made it home. God will not give you your next blessing if you're not grateful for the little things. So keep that in mind. Relationships. I probably shouldn't be giving advice on relationships. I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. I'm still learning every day. I guess like I don't sit here and I'm like, I know everything, you know? I feel like that is still something I've been able to master: entrepreneurship, business, tapping into my highest self. But when it comes to relationships, it is messy. It is not perfect. And especially when you grew up in chaos and you never saw an example of a healthy marriage, it is a struggle. It is a big struggle. So for my girls that are just navigating relationships and trying to find their lifelong partner, and you grew up within toxicity, chaos, narcissism, abandonment, all these issues, it is not easy. But I will tell you one thing: you have the power to change your reality. And maybe you didn't grow up with a healthy parents, or, you know, you didn't see a healthy relationship, but a healthy relationship can come from you. And I love this quote that says, "It ran in my family until it ran into me." And that's what I genuinely feel like is happening within my own life. I am breaking generational curses. I'm not making the same mistakes that were made by my parents, and I love them to death, and I don't think I'd ever put their business out there like that. But they were navigating their own 20s and trying to navigate parenthood. And I can't imagine being 20 years old and having a child. I can't even imagine having one right now, because I'm still navigating my own identity within my own self. Frontal lobe, she's still developing, right? Like we're still trying to navigate just full on life. And really do give it to teen moms. I really give it to women that have been able to be full on mothers and navigate life. And every time someone tells me that they have children and they're working, or I always say, God bless you. Because I cannot, like, I think people don't understand what a big deal it is to have a little human being with them. Like, conceptualizing that I have to take care of another human being on top of myself is crazy. Like, there is no room for me to sit back and relax, self-care, right? It's possible, but I'm still, like, even right now, I'm trying to think about it. I can't wait to be a mom, though. Like, it's something that I do want. I want to have a healthy family. I do believe in traditional families. I believe in the Christian households. I came to Jesus when I was 12 years old. I've seen religion be used to oppress women, yes. So I'm very well aware of what a Christian narcissism is. Super scary, because Bible verses are used, spiritual manipulation is used, but that ain't gonna work, because I saw that growing up. So good luck. That does not work on me. But I do believe that God has given us roles, and it's so hard, like just submitting and putting your pride aside. I think when you're a strong woman rooted in business and like getting after it in your masculine energy, because in order to run a business you have to have masculine energy. You just can't be like, oh, that's okay, that's fine, yeah, like how can I be like a maternal figure? Like, no, it has to be like you're locking in and you're getting after it. So turning that switch off and being able to be like, okay, like now I'm in feminine energy, now I have to care for my family, for my partner. That is my personal struggle. I'm capable of it. I think that just finding the right person to be able to be vulnerable with and open up to is probably like what it's gonna take. But that takes time, and you know, the right person will come to you at the right time. You're not gonna be looking for it. And finding comfort in being with multiple men and trying to, you can't be scared of being alone. You have to be comfortable in your own skin and your own presence, because what ends up happening is you're gonna have codependency. You do not want codependency. If you cannot sit with yourself and be at peace with yourself, that is a problem. I need you to lock in. I need you to enjoy your time. And it's hard, right? Like, binge scrolling for 2 hours and going to bed, that is not spending time with yourself. You know what's spending time with yourself? Turning your phone off, putting it to the side, opening up your journal, being able to visualize and look at what you're feeling as you write it, doing a guided breath work, maybe watching a little show. You know, do something for face mask, hygiene. Take care of yourself, because no one's going to take care of you the way you take care of yourself. Your partner's not going to do it. Your family's not going to do it. So sitting there and feeling sorry for yourself and not doing anything for yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's not going to get better with time. It's not going to be like, oh, when I'm married, when I have children. That's what happens. People who use other people as band-aids are the problem. I got to be real here, and I got to be a big sister. You having a child is not going to fix your own internal issues. You finding the right man is not going to fix your internal issues. You working on yourself is going to fix your internal issues. Clock it. I'm at a point in my life where I'm still learning things. I'm not perfect. I will never be perfect. I never want to be perfect. I will tell you one thing though. The moment that you begin to realize what you bring to the table, you're gonna walk in a different truth and a different light. This is me just putting my feelings out there and me just wanting to like, coming out of this video, I really want you to understand your worth. I want you to understand your value. I want you to recognize who you are as a woman, because a lot of us don't walk in that truth. We don't walk in that light. We kind of feel like we have to dim our light. Let people live in their own darkness. That does not mean you need to sit here and not live in your light. Your light is going to irritate people living in darkness. Accept it. Move on. But you trying to dim your light, water yourself down for people that cannot see your worth or your value, and you living for others, step out of the people-pleasing era, please. Now, because let me tell you something. You live your entire life trying to please others. You live your entire life trying to live through the lens of other people. Guess what? When those people, we all got to go somewhere at the end of the day. We all have to experience death. And when those people are no longer in your life, your partner, your children, your family, okay? What life did you live? Did you live to make sure you were happy, or were you living for everyone else? Is that why you're so miserable and so resentful with the world? The career you're doing, the life you're living, who are you doing it for? And you know what? I will tell you one thing. When I found God, it changed my life. When God is the center, when God is the core of your life, people can talk smack about you. People can tell you that what you're doing doesn't make sense. When people think it's crazy, you're doing the right thing. When people think it's crazy, God tells you to dream bigger. Some of us don't even have faith as small as a mustard seed. Mustard seeds, to put it into perspective, are this tiny. They're so tiny you can't even see, like with your human eye, it's like a little dot. What if you started having faith again? What if you started dreaming big? What if you started ignoring what other people thought about you? How much more free would you feel? I want you to leave this video with a different perspective of life. I want you to start living in your light, start living in your truth, stop dimming your light, start taking opportunities, stop victimizing yourself, and really turn into a butterfly. You might be a caterpillar right now, going through metamorphosis. You might not have, left your shell yet. That does not mean it's too late. It is never too late. There is no timeline. If you are 30, if you are 40, if you are 50, if you are 60, if you are 18, it is never too late to start again. Tiempo a tiempo, progress is progress, and please don't let me catch you not locking into your potential. We are not in that era. We are in that's where y'all are gonna comment what era we should call it. Because it's not like hot girl era. We're more than hot girls. It is not clean girl era. It is something era. But all I know is we're stepping into this and nothing's gonna stop our light. So keep going. Don't let me catch y'all slacking. And I'm sending my love to the girls just trying to navigate life for the first time. My Latinas just trying to navigate a very cruel world that is not going to water itself down for us. Pero, como siempre digo, sigue luchando y pa' adelante con fe siempre, mis amores. Like, comment, subscribe.